It was the devastating news of one of my favorite YouTubers being murdered that sparked my self love journey. It's a pretty gruesome way for a self love journey to begin, but it was in that time that I asked myself why the world wasn't more loving. And while I was beating up the world about being more loving, it came to me that how can a world be loving if there are so many people that don't even know how to love themselves? Which then reminded me of one of my favorite quotes that says that we have to be the change that we want to see in the world. And from there, my self love journey started. And in that moment, I was inspired to create something called the Self Love Pact, which was my very first digital product, if you will, at the time. And it was something that I wanted to do for myself. I thought to myself that in light of this very sad situation, I want to be able to cultivate more self love for myself. And my platform that I was on at the time, I reached out to them to say, hey, I had a YouTube channel and I had an Instagram page, and I reached out and said, hey, this is what I'm going to be doing. Who wants to join me? And that was the start of 10 years of a self-love journey. And time has definitely flown by. I can't believe it's already been 10 years. But in celebration of the 10th year of the Self-Love Pact and the Self-Love Pact 2.0, which is the revised version of the self-love guide that I created, I thought I would share more about my self-love journey since I'm on a new YouTube channel, and really share about a topic that has been a huge pivotal part of my personal journey and entrepreneurial journey. And I hope that you will find so much value in this video. And yeah, let's get into it. So my name is Nadine. I'm going to be going down through some notes and just really talking to you, sharing my take on self-love and my experience. And I hope that it really helps you if you are already on a self-love journey, or maybe you are just curious about what a self-love journey would look like and you want to start your own self-love journey. This video right here is going to be all about the truth of starting a self-love journey, because it's not always easy and it's not always sunshines and roses. And that's what we're going to be discussing in this video right here. There will be 2 more videos coming up after this one, still on the topic of self-love, that is going to share a little bit more. So if you do want to be tapped into those, definitely feel free to go ahead and subscribe so you'll be notified once those videos go live. So in order to embark on a self-love journey, you first have to understand it. You first have to know what it is. So what is self-love? What is it? Well, self-love to me is really about being able to cultivate a deep love for yourself, where you're able to accept yourself fully who you are, all parts of yourself. And that leads to the next question of, why is self-love important? Well, self-love is important because self-love is the foundation of all the relationships that you have after your relationship with self. And some of the benefits of self-love is that as you cultivate a deep, profound love within yourself for yourself, it also paves the path to cultivating beautiful, deep, rich, and exciting relationships with others as well. And it will also show you when you are in certain relationships, if these are the right relationships for you or not. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get into it, get a little bit deeper. Let's actually talk about some myths. What are some common myths of self-love? So first things first, I'm sure you've heard you have to love yourself first. And this is something that actually kind of deters some people from starting a self-love journey, unfortunately, because they think that this translates to putting yourself before everyone else, in the sense of doing it at the expense of other people. So that often leads to feelings of guilt and feelings of frustration and isolation, because people feel that people aren't going to like them if they start choosing themselves over other people, or it jeopardizes relationships and things of that nature. Well, that is a myth about self love, okay? We'll dive deeper into that in a little bit. This one, I'm sure you've heard this one. Self love is selfish. And no, self love is not selfish. However, people think that self love somehow means that you are neglecting others. And the truth is, it's not about neglecting other people. It's really about you learning your worth and being able to set healthy boundaries with other people. Because let's face it, there are some people who like to take advantage of people and who feel like if someone doesn't know their worth, that they can play in their face. But we'll get deeper into that later in the video. Next, self-love is all about positive affirmations. Well, let me tell you something. I am definitely one for positive affirmations, positive self-love affirmations. I'm actually going to go ahead and link some positive self-love affirmations that I actually created down in the description below. So if you are down for positive self-love affirmations, I got you. However, that is not all that self-love is about. It is truly very helpful on your self-love journey to have affirmations to reinforce these new beliefs and to have more compassion for yourself. But that is definitely not what it's all about. It is not the sole purpose. It is not the sole focus. Self-love is really about learning to accept all parts of yourself and appreciate all parts of yourself. So with that being said, what is the real meaning of self-love? Well, self-love is truly about self-acceptance. It's really about you being able to embrace your flaws, your imperfections, and it is the foundation of true, genuine self-love. Okay? Growing up, I don't even know how I love myself, okay? Beyond the self-love journey, before I even got deep into the self-love journey. Because growing up, I was told so many reasons why I shouldn't love myself from people that were supposed to love me. I was too dark, I was too loud, blah, 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 blah. The list goes on. And if it wasn't for the most amazing mother in the world, yeah, that's my mom, I don't know where I would have been. Because I really would have thought that I was useless and worthless based on some of the things that I used to hear growing up from others. And even just looking around and just seeing how I was treated. I was the only girl in my generation on my mom's side of the family. It's a lot of boys. So let's just say I didn't go out a whole lot. You know what I mean? And as a child, I could have interpreted that in a really negative way. But thank God for my mother, who instilled so much love into me and taught me that I was amazing. But at a certain point, we have to learn how to cultivate that self-love for ourselves, right? So, self-love is also about self-compassion. It's about learning to treat yourself with the same love, care, grace, and kindness that you give to others. And this is sad because I know that I've heard it before. I have definitely been there before where I have not extended the same type of grace to myself as I extended to other people, where I have beat myself up way more than I should have. And I have talked to myself in ways that I would have never talked to nobody. And it's something that we do all the time. So being able to cultivate self-compassion is another integral part of self-love. Now, this one right here, I know you already know, because a lot of people think that self-love and self-care is synonymous, and it is not. It is not. Don't let the people lie to you. Self-care, however, is a very integral part of self-love because it is in those activities that you are being able to nurture yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. And the problem with this, though, is that although it is very good to cultivate acts of self-care into your routine to be able to deepen your self-love journey, some people sometimes use it as a way to avoid the real work that needs to get done. Okay, self-love is not just all about getting your hair done, getting your nails done, doing your makeup, putting on a cute outfit, making sure you smell good, hygiene, blah, blah, blah. It's deeper than that. Okay, there is certain level of being able to sit with yourself and going beyond the surface. So, what are some practical steps that you can take to start cultivating self love? Self love is truly a practice of mindfulness. So, aside from the whole self care aspect of things, it's about being mindful. It's about being able to take that time for yourself to sit and to really ask yourself what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and becoming more self aware. It's really about setting boundaries, healthy boundaries for yourself, and prioritizing your needs. Now, this is for people out there that have been people pleasers and have always put other people before themselves. Well, self love is about you being able to feel okay with saying no and knowing that no is a full sentence and nobody's going to die if you tell them no. Okay. Being able to set healthy boundaries with people, especially people that don't have boundaries themselves, that impose themselves onto other people in ways that are just really not okay, that expect things from people just because they exist. I know family wise, I had to set some boundaries with some of my family members when it came down to this, because it's like, yo, okay, like really, this is not what we finna do right here. Okay. So self love is just really about understanding your boundaries and prioritizing your needs as well, knowing when enough is enough, and just being able to have that healthy boundary to say, hey, like, unfortunately, that's not okay. You know, being able to stand up for yourself, being able to have a structure in place where you are protecting yourself from other people's overindulgence. Some people overindulge in other people and expect them to do things that they shouldn't be expecting other people to do. Okay. So self love is really about being able to set those boundaries. This was a key one for me because on my self love journey, it was years later into my self love journey that I really started implementing healthy boundaries, because you need to be able to pour into yourself and really honor yourself. And sometimes there's people that just take, and they don't respect that you also need to pour into yourself. So boundaries is very important in self love. This one also is a huge one, which is learning to embrace your strengths and to celebrate your accomplishments. Oh my gosh, this one is something that I know a lot of people struggle with. And in my self-love journey, again, this was like later in my self-love journey where I really had to start cultivating daily practices to remind me that, hey, girl, you did good today. Hey, girl, pat yourself on the back. Because a lot of times we get so caught up in life and what's happening in our life that we forget to celebrate even our smallest wins. And those things are important. Those are a part of your self-love journey that you can actually implement right now today that a lot of people overlook. So I don't know if you know this, but love is one of the most highest, beautiful frequencies there are that exists on our planet. So when it comes to self-love, there is power in being able to love yourself and to cultivate self-love for yourself. And with the power of self-love, you are really giving yourself a gift and a gift to others, because it actually results in improved relationships. So once you're able to set healthy boundaries and being able to understand what you need to feel safe, to feel confident, to feel secure within yourself, but also being able to communicate this with other people in your life, with your loved ones, and to say, hey, this is what I need, and communicate those needs clearly, you're actually allowing yourself to improve your relationships. You're able to create better relationships with the people that are already in your life, because if you are able to communicate to somebody, hey, this is how I feel and this is what I need, and you're not asking too much of that person, and you are really just standing up for yourself and expressing like, hey, when you did that, this is how that makes me feel, and this is what I need. And that person being able to hear you, to respect that boundary, and to also say, you know what, I see you, I feel you, I hear you, and perhaps even speak about boundaries that they need to set within their lives in regards to your relationship, you've now improved a relationship, which is a wonderful basis to attract even more beautiful and healthy relationships. So self-love is important. It is so important. It also helps with increased confidence, as I spoke on a little bit earlier. Confidence, being able to know your worth, being able to embrace your strengths, and really get that assurance, that self-assurance within yourself. Like, I'm good. I'm out here. I'm doing it. Clapping for yourself, celebrating yourself. That is something that is so beautiful about starting a self-love journey, is being able to cultivate that self-assurance within yourself, because then you become more sure of yourself. You become more confident. You radiate. You show up in the world differently, versus showing up in the world feeling like you need someone else to validate you all the time. It's life-changing. Self-love also fosters a greater sense of resilience, because it allows you to create a strong internal foundation within yourself that ultimately will help you to navigate challenges in life a lot more seamlessly. Because if you have deep trust within yourself, knowing that you can overcome any situation, circumstance, and obstacle that you're presented with, that just makes life a lot more, I wouldn't say easier, but a lot more, what's the word I'm looking for? Life just becomes a lot more seamless in a sense, because you are now confident in your ability to overcome obstacles. You become stronger. You don't break at every obstacle. You don't cry. Okay. I remember, I'm laughing now, but it sure wasn't funny. But I remember situations and circumstances in my life that happened when I was younger, way before I embarked on the self-love journey, where I was like, oh my gosh, like I would have cried. You know what I mean? Like now, even now when I look at situations, circumstances that I'm faced with, obstacles that I'm faced with, I'm like, man, before I embarked on the self-love journey, this would have tore me up. This situation would have tore me up and spit me out. Okay? So really and truly, self-love really helps you to develop such a strong internal foundation, which is going to get you through some of the hardest, roughest, and toughest days of your life. Okay? Oh my goodness. Ultimately, self-love really helps you to identify and challenge any limiting beliefs that you have lingering in your mind, because let's be real, a lot of us look at love and relationships in negative ways due to what we have seen happening around us. And we have a lot of self-sabotaging thoughts that lead to frustration in our life and in our relationships, especially romantic relationships. So self-love helps you to become more aware of that inner critic and that self-talk that sabotages the things in our life that we really truly want and desire. It allows you to really hone into that. And this is where the self-love affirmations come in, because you're able to recognize that and you're able to combat that with more positive self-talk. So when it comes to self-love, it's very important to also, just like I said earlier, just start with daily, simple acts of kindness. I got a notification that my phone is dying, so I'm like trying to speed it up and go through these notes, so bear with me. So being able to practice self-compassion, just having daily acts of self-kindness that you do every single day, celebrating yourself, your small wins, and being able to really just focus on your strengths, celebrate your achievements, celebrate the good that's happening in your life, and just have gratitude. Gratitude in self-love, it is so important. It's something that I touch on in the Self-Love Pact 2.0, okay? Now, the journey to true self-love is that it's not an overnight situation, okay? You're not going to wake up and just love yourself fully and wholly in 24 hours, baby, okay? Self-love, it is not a destination. It is a journey. And I'm telling you, even in dedicating myself to the Self-Love Pact and doing this, I was doing it consistently every single year for, I think, the first 6 years. consistently every single February, the self-love pack, like all 4 weeks of February, tied in, locked into it. Okay. But even through all of that, there were still things that I was learning and experiencing and overcoming through that whole time. 10 years in, I still feel like there's still so much that I can learn about self-love and this journey and myself and relationships. And it is a journey. It is a journey. And being okay with that and being able to accept that is very important if you are looking to embark on your self-love journey, because it's going to require your continuous effort. It's going to require you to self-reflect. It's going to require you to forgive, okay? Forgive not only yourself, but forgive others in your life, which in the self-love pact is the number one foundational thing that I talk about when it comes to self-love. Forgiveness is so key. It is so key on this journey. So self-love for me was something that I really didn't even know that I needed. Had it not been for the tragic event of my favorite YouTuber, one of my favorite YouTubers being murdered, I wouldn't have ever taken a moment to take stock of my life and see how I can start cultivating self-love within myself. So it's been a journey. As I said, growing up, I really feel like I should have struggled with self-acceptance a lot more than I did, but gratefully, thank God, I had an amazing mother that was able to be that buffer for me, because I definitely battled a lot of negative self-thoughts, through life as I embarked on my journey, and I started looking back at moments in my life where maybe I didn't feel as loved or as appreciated or as confident because I didn't really have multiple reflections of that in my life. So embarking on this self-love journey allowed me to have a newfound confidence within myself, and not just a superficial confidence, but a deep-rooted confidence that came from knowing the truth of who I am. Because when it comes to self-love, it's really about going deeper into yourself and learning yourself at a deeper level. And as I said, it's not an easy journey, okay? There's going to be ups, there's going to be downs. But ultimately, if you persevere on the journey and you go through the challenging times, you're really going to start learning to see your true, authentic self, who you truly are at the core of your being, parts of yourself that you maybe locked away and didn't even know existed because you were so caught up in what society was telling you and what people around you were telling you, and you becoming who everyone else said you should be. This is going to give you an opportunity to really dive deep and to really come to terms with the true, authentic, genuine version of you that has a beautiful story, a beautiful light that the world is just ready and waiting to hear and to see and to feel and to experience. So, with all of that being said, self-love is important. And I know that it's impacted my life in more ways than I can count. There's been a lot of ups and downs, as I will be sharing in the next video, probably the next couple of videos, because it's not all sunshine and roses, but it is so worth it. It is so worth it. So if you are tuned into this right now and you have not yet started your self-love journey, you've been thinking about self-love journey, you're not sure where to start, how to begin, it's a lot, it feels overwhelming, don't worry, I got you, I feel you, I understand. Make sure you tune in, you subscribe so you can tap into these next couple of videos. Also inside of the Royal Court, which is the community that I started, definitely feel free to go there. I have some resources inside of the community that is going to help you on this journey if you're just getting started. I want to be able to support you in this journey because it's really transformative. It's really life-changing once you really start taking that time to pour into yourself. I used to do one-on-one sessions, and every time I do a one-on-one program with a client and I just see the transformation after 6 simple weeks of just doing a little bit of self-love, I'm telling you, it helps you get your whole life together. And I just love seeing people beginning to realize how beautiful and amazing and wonderful they are through these experiences, and learning that self-love is important, and we should all embrace how beautiful and how amazing we are. So self-love is the key. It is the key to more peace, more happiness, more joy, more fulfillment in your life. And truly, it is the key for you to find out your true, authentic self, so you can show up in this world the way God intended you to show up, so you can be the person that God intended you to be. Because believe me, baby, you have a beautiful, unique, wonderful story that lies within you, and the world is waiting to hear it. The world is ready to see you exactly as you were meant to be seen. And it starts with you being able to learn yourself, learning to appreciate yourself, learning to have compassion for yourself. So I hope that this video served you, and I hope that you begin to embark on this wonderful self-love journey, leading to an amazing transformation within yourself, and you start to see just how beautiful you truly are. Thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to seeing you in another video. Bye for now.